Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. All right, you better buckle up for this one. Monica Long, she just dropped a statement that completely changes the game, and no one's talking about it in the way they should be. And on top of that, we get the same tired BS news that China banned Bitcoin. The headlines are making their rounds again. But this time, something feels off. If you read between the lines, this might actually be the most bullish thing we have seen all year in XRP. Yeah, the chosen one. The charts are lighting up. These are the kind of signals that usually show up right before something big happens. Plus, Bitcoin quietly holds the 50 EMA once again, like a freaking rock. While everyone else is distracted and complaining about the markets, they're going down. It's over. Not so fast, folks. So trust me, you're going to want to see how this all connects. And hey, while you're here, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. It's free. It really helps out the channel. We got about like 300 to 400 thumbs up yesterday. The videos did not perform well, and we talked about the price. If you listened to those videos, you knew exactly where the price was heading to, and you know what happens next. We included in those videos our Patreon post, so everyone was very well informed, and I put the videos out because there was so much fear out there. Go give them a watch. Go give them a listen. The more thumbs up we get, you know what happens. The more YouTube will push out the content. It really is that important. That's why we talk about it in each and every single video. And guess what? It takes you 2 seconds to do. Without further ado, let's jump into a Bitcoin. Nice little rebound here. $113,890. $903. It changes right in front of our very eyes. It's currently up 0.4%. Ethereum coming in at 3,484. It's pretty much flat. And XRP, a nice little rebound. We're not out of the woodworks just yet, folks. Coming in at $2.87. Total cryptocurrency market cap, 3.66 trillion. Let that sink in. Just the other day, we were at 3.92, 3.95, and this dip, this correction, took us all the way back to 3.66. Now, what do we say on this channel? Any dip that we get during these times is meant to be purchased. It is meant to be scooped up. It is that simple. And I put this a little flashback to the past, folks. When I was buying XRP, $1,000 got you 3,333 of them. Man, those were the good old days. Let's just be honest. Here's the Patreon post. We talked about this. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, we told you $2.99 to $2.78 was the price action of the reversal that we were looking for. And what happened? Well, XRP, if you see its 50-day moving average, it's right on 278. We held it perfectly. Now it can always, I already hear people saying we touch two. It doesn't matter where we wick down to. Wicks, when doing TA, they do not count. We look at the candles, we look at the closures, not these scam wicks. You see this thing right here? That's called a scam wick. We don't care about it. We weren't there for long. It goes down and shoots right back up. You're always going to get wicks. If you look at every candle that has ever been closed, there are always wicks. We care about those big, thick body closes. And that's what we got. Then we get this. The more, you know what they're trying to do. I don't even need to tell you. China has just announced they officially banned cryptocurrency trading, mining, and related services. Newsflash, I'm happy we got Gronk in here. China banned crypto back in 2021. Nothing has changed. But what are they trying to do? They're trying to make the markets go back down because clearly they are not happy with the DCAs and they're trying to get a better dollar cost average. Let's jump into Monica Long. Listen to this. This is a 2-minute Monica Long talk from a panel she was on, and we're going to jump into this and what this really means because this gets deep, this gets big, and it's a lot deeper than people are willing to look into. But I'm going to break it all down. Here you go.
What do you, so I also think another big shift from 2016 to today is more openness from major institutions of using public blockchains. Like when you and I were talking to banks back in the 10 years ago time frame, I mean, it was like intense fear and just reticence to go onto public chains. That's really changed. So what do you think, what do you see as the important capabilities or factors that institutions need to see to go onto public blockchains?
Yeah, I think, back then, to be fair to institutions, I guess, the maturity of the infrastructure typically wasn't there.
Sure.
And the education that was required, people just didn't get it, right? You need a couple of years, you need a couple of cycles for it to start to click. And I think, honestly, Ripple did a phenomenal job as being part of that education, because I feel like Ripple was the first blockchain to really go for the institutions and say, guys, this is 24/7 movement of value, get with the program. So you were very much ahead of your time, I shall say. But clearly, institutions now are coming on board because I think, in part, the technology has proven to be sufficiently robust and, quite frankly, better in many regards than what a lot of institutions can offer. A lot of the existing TradFi banks look at stablecoins, 24/7 value movement, and say, whoops, my systems can't support that.
Yeah.
And it is not going to take that long for them to do the same thing when they look at on-chain stocks and ETFs and you name your asset, right? And so I think right now there's really a turning point in how they look at the technology, how robust it is with the ongoing regulatory clarity. The level of adoption and, quite frankly, in some instances, FOMO that we're seeing from institutions is pretty significant.
Let's break this down, everyone. You ever watch a movie where the real mastermind is in the background the whole time? Pulling the strings, setting the straps, while everyone else is looking the wrong way? That's Ripple right now. The White House report that came out, barely whispered a word about XRP or RLUSD, but make no mistakes, Ripple is not behind the curve. They're actually 5 steps ahead of it. Think of Ripple like Apple in the early 2000s. Everyone was hyped about flip phones and CDs. Meanwhile, Steve Jobs, he was quietly building out the iPhone. Well, Ripple's out here building infrastructure, not headlines. And that's the difference between a hype train and a long-term empire. The fact that they weren't mentioned in the report, honestly, that's even more bullish. You don't spotlight the foundation that you're going to build on. While everyone's obsessing over what's in the press release, Ripple's tech is being tested by banks, by governments. Their stablecoin is locked and loaded, and XRP is sitting like a coiled spring. This isn't hopium. This is what being early actually feels like here. Think about all that for a second and really take that in. And in the meantime, RLUSD just surpassed $600 million in total value. Yes, $600 million in total value. It's very clear that Ripple is dedicated to ensuring that RLUSD becomes a top 5 stablecoin by the end of the year. Look, Ripple knew that stablecoins were going to be the next big thing in crypto. Why did they know this? Well, this goes back to the point we just talked about in the White House in the report. Ripple is talking to all of these different agencies and working with all of these different groups. They know exactly where they want to go, and they're going to start with stablecoins. It wasn't just out of thin air that Ripple's like, we need to get into the stablecoin game. No, they sit on all these different panels between the Fed, the DTCC, the White House's group, the SEC. They knew that stablecoins were going to be the next big thing here. That is why they got into this game. There is a reason Ripple tried to acquire a Circle. Now, whether that acquisition is dead to rights, maybe it comes back to life, it doesn't matter, because Ripple is going to build up RLUSD. It might take a little bit longer for this thing to break into the top 3 instead of instantly jumping into the top 2, even the top 1 stablecoin out there, but Ripple will get there. The fact of the matter is that just because they did not buy Circle doesn't mean that Ripple's in trouble. It just means that they're going to have to build from the ground up. It's like if you're getting into business, you either start your business from the ground up or you acquire an existing business that's out there and all of their customers and you get a head start. That's exactly what Ripple was trying to do. And all in the meantime, the XRP chart looks absolutely fine to me. We talked about the run-up we just had. You can see these green stairs leading on up to heaven. Now, what do we see? Just a tiny correction. A tiny correction. We can take it from the wick down, and we can move it right there. You saw a 25% correction, folks. After we just experienced a 63% run-up. If we math it real quick, we're still up almost 40%. Sit back. Relax. Enjoy the bull run. We told you August is going to be a very bullish month. We even told you it's going to be the second half of August. That's exactly where we are focused on. We've been screaming, we screamed that in every single video last week. And we set you up for this moment and where you should be paying attention to. You got two options. Sit in your hands and do nothing, or buy the dip if you can afford to. I know I just bought the dip. Make the smart move. Make the right decision. Do not let them shake you out of your crypto boots. I'm going to leave it like that. Pay attention to what Monica Long said. Pay attention to RLUSD. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on your way out, and I'm going to catch everyone on the next one.